I am Suzanne Morgan, and I'm the head teacher of Saltdean Primary School, which is just outside Brighton. We are linked in with an East Sussex hub, and we decided that Maths No Problem was going to present us with the best opportunity to access Singapore Maths. Our attainment is fine, our national data is fine, our progress is okay, but it's not good enough. And actually it was my sister's school, and looking at her school, which is in much more challenge, and looking at the results and seeing how comparable they were with them doing Singapore Maths, that made me think, we have to take this on board, we have to look at it, and we have to think about how we use this to turn our maths around, because at the moment we're putting everything at the top end of the school to achieve those results, and that cannot be right. That's not right for teachers, and that is not right for children. That is not what my ethos is. The key objective for me changing things was to make sure that we drive our more able learners. That has always been our challenge, and to make sure that we are facilitating the learning for them whilst also supporting our learners who are going to struggle a little bit more. And I was actually really interested in the notion of keeping the class together and looking at it from a different perspective, because differentiation has always been something that's been key in terms of all teaching. First of all, we started off without the textbooks. We then reflected and found out that actually for the teachers in Year 5, which is where we were implementing it, and we decided we were going to start with Year 5, it was quite a lot of work for them. And I think when you're implementing a new initiative, you do have to consider your teachers and you have to consider workloads. When we looked at the textbooks, it was just a no-brainer for me in terms of they are going to support the teachers to do what they do best, which is teach. We've been using the books for about 3 months. And I think that's been transformational in terms of the teachers, A, their reaction to the books, and B, their reaction to taking on board the Singapore Maths and driving it forwards. I've seen the excitement. I can honestly say at the beginning, my maths lead, who is also my Year 5 teacher, was probably a little bit like a bunny in headlights at the beginning, as was my assistant head, because when you first start to look at it, it is challenging, and that's good, that's exciting, but the textbooks help and support that. I love the journal notion, I love the structure that comes from the textbooks. I like the fact that that supports the planning. In terms of the order in which we do it, we're going for CPD first. So now we've got myself as head, my assistant head and my maths lead, who have all gone through some intensive training. We feel powered up to lead CPD. So for a term, we'll put some CPD, and in fact we're going to devote much of our staff meetings for a term to this. The pupils' reaction has been really positive. What you see now is active maths lessons. So sometimes they're noisy, there's more chat going on, and it's quite interesting. In one of the Year 5 classes, we've got some very able pupils, but it's really challenged these pupils in terms of their thinking and in terms of their notion of how they perform at maths.